So these are three pieces that are marketed as shungite. Only one of them is actually real. And I'm going to show you how to test for real versus fake. And there's a lot of fakes out there and very, very expensive pieces, like these two were. So let's examine the first one. This one is marketed as an EMF buster. And what it is, it's a bunch of rocks that are basically tied together by a piece of copper. One of these rocks looks mysteriously like just a piece of slate. Don't understand that. And then all of these different beads, they do look like plastic. I don't know what crystals they might actually even be. But you don't want to put crystals together side by side because they all emit a unique frequency. And that's the thing about crystals. Crystals emit one frequency. So to put a bunch of them together just sounds like a clashing of a whole bunch of guitars out of tune. That would be really, really disturbing vibrational energy. This right here is supposed to be the actual piece of shungite. Now if you look at the shatter pattern here, this looks suspiciously like a selenite crystal because selenite gives those stripes like that when they're shattered. Shungite doesn't do that. My suspicion is that this was painted selenite because I don't know anything else that does that. Even if this was shungite, you wouldn't want to have it blocked off by all these other rocks because you want the shungite to be able to radiate outwards. Shungite works like noise-canceling headphones that negate the opposite spin of things that are harmful to biological tissues or basically universal energy, like viruses or EMFs or bacteria, pollutants. They all have anti-spin, which is why they're harmful to living organisms. Shungite will spin so powerfully in the positive direction, they'll neutralize on a quantum level the negative spin of these things that are hazards, health hazards. So this thing is absolutely bogus, and I'll just show you by test. One thing that's cool about shungite that you can test is that it is completely conductive to an electrical current. I've got this right now on ohms. This is a multimeter, and ohms is resistance. So when it says 1 right here, that means it's totally resistant. And when I have it completing the circuit, which means that the positive and the ground actually are completing the circuit, then the resistance goes to 0. If it's somewhere not 0, then that means that this is not conductive. So I'm going to test this little piece of shungite here. Quote shungite. And you can see on the multimeter, let's do it where you can see. I'll push down here. You can see on the multimeter that it says 1, which means it's completely not conductive. Just like my finger. My finger is an insulator. Okay, so my finger is going to say 1. So that is the EMF buster. It's advertised as the way that you use it is you put it next to your router, and it will negate. Yeah, and it wasn't cheap. So my friend donated it to me for this experiment. Very, very upset about how much she paid, but also the fact that this was told to her to be real shungite. Okay, now this is another piece of quote shungite, and this was sold by a local crystal store here in Kelowna. Just open it up just a bit so you can see it better. Now you can tell real shungite because it has iron, like rust, and it also has quartz. So there'd be like little white stripes running through it, which would be quartz. So if you don't have a multimeter, then that's one of the things to look for. It's really unfortunate because people will buy this, put it by their router, which that's not even the best part of using shungite. The goal of shungite is to actually wear it on your body, not necessarily to put it next to your router. It's interesting because the lady who sold this knows that there are a lot of 5G towers that are being erected in our city of Kelowna, and she said that she went around and dropped orgonite pucks around all of them so that the city's protected. I'm sorry, that was just a little bit funny. Okay, so here we go. We're going to do a test for resistance. And you'll see that we get some action, but it's confused. It's 103, 40, 1, 0.07, 1.3. It never quite gets there. And I'll put it here. I don't know what this compound is. It does actually flow some current through, but sometimes it goes up and higher, but it constantly moves. Okay, so that is definitely not shungite, but sold for a very high price and marketed as shungite, which is very, very frustrating to me. Now here's the real stuff, Elite Noble Shungite Type 1. And you can see by the shatter pattern that it looks like glass, looks like a Coke bottle. They're always very, here's another piece. They're very shiny, and they look like this. They're very rugged, they're very shiny. When they break like a mountain, like the side of a mountain, okay? Or sometimes they break like a tree. And they're gorgeous. Also, they're extremely light. So this is probably a 50-gram piece of shungite. This would be extremely powerful. Put it on your Dantians, or in Hindu, the chakras. Third eye chakra, very, very powerful there. I'll do a video about what the chakras are. It sounds all like, ooh, what's a chakra, dude? But all they are is they're high conductivity, low resistance points on the body where electrical energy can flow, and acupuncturists have known about this for years, which is why those are connected to meridians. But shungite is extremely powerful when placed over any of the, what they call the chakras. Okay, so let's just take our ohm meter, and I'll just go ahead and push it, and go straight to 0. Anywhere that I touch it. Real shungite does that. There's no confusion. It is completely conducting. This is a really cool piece of actual shungite. This is polished, and if you look real close, you can see like little veins of quartz. This is a pendant. What I really like about pendants is that you can wear it, and it's constantly on top of you. And what's really nice about these is this can actually touch your solar plexus, which is a wonderful conducting place for it to be in. Constantly be in contact with that part of your body that's very low resistance and high conductivity. So really neat for protection. So I'm going to show you how this responds, and it goes to 0. So these pendants are a really good idea. I really like them because you can just wear them. So what you do with actual real shungite, this is wonderful. You can put it in water, put it in for about 20 minutes. You'll see that a whole lot of bubbles form. Around cold water especially, and what that is that's just bringing out the nitrogen gases in the water. You'll also know that something is real shungite, when you first get it and your hands kind of show, it looks like a pencil wrote on it, because that's exactly what that is. That's graphite. This is 97% carbon. This is Elite Type 1 Noble Shungite. Really, the Rolls Royce of shungites. Absolutely love this stuff. Anyway, so buyer beware, because shungite is in short supply. Don't buy stuff like this. Don't buy anything on Amazon, because there's a number of them that are absolutely fake, and you can tell. They don't look like shungite. Synthesized shungite is made by the Chinese. They figured out how to do that. So this is the real stuff, and this is the stuff you want to get, not that. And that's heartbreaking to know that people, not only did they spend good money on this garbage, but they're vulnerable, so they got taken advantage of. And then on top of that, they then look at it and go, this doesn't actually really do anything. But the real qualities of genuine shungite you can look up on the internet, and they are vast. Okay? So be careful when you're buying. Thanks for watching.